What's up, everybody? It's the Nerd Den. Happy Friday. Man, this has been a crazy week.
What?
This has been a crazy week. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
So,
Good.
A little bit of mini drop in the bucket of housekeeping. We've got like, I guess, Dusty, like 2 more weeks of interviews to go?
Something like
if we
that.
decide to
Yeah,
cut it
probably
off.
2.
Yeah, it's been nuts, man. We've got some incredible guests lined up and more. We've got I'm looking at my calendar right now. We've got another 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 people. We've got another 9 interviews. I can make it. We can do this. We can do this.
Hey guys, hold down the fort for just a second. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay. We won't begin without you, Andrew.
Bye.
Anyway.
Good.
Yes. We laugh because of the pain and suffering.
It's
Everything's fine. Hours.
But people are genuinely excited. The guests are going to be fantastic. They've been fantastic. We've got a lot of amazing stuff planned. We're going to have a pre-recorded track, which is sort of the educational track. We're also going to have what we're calling a fan track, which is a live track. So your favorite projects, a number of them are going to be doing live events. So we hope you guys will be there. If you haven't gotten your ticket, it's really simple. All you got to do is go to the web3comiccon.com website. It's in Discord. You know where to go. Just click the link and click the button that says claim my free ticket. Put your name and email in there, and that's it. You get your free ticket. That's really simple. So we're super excited about it. We're going to be pushing the hell out of this over the next couple of weeks, the next 30 days. So I'm sure you're going to be sick of hearing about it. But tough. Other than that, everything's doing great. We're very excited. It's incredible. I mean, it's a bear market, and people are just building, and I think we have something really special here. And I'm very, I'm pretty much convinced that we just created a new flagship for pop culture in the digital space.
Dude, I'm watching people's videos going, NFTs are dead, and I'm just like, you don't. Like, you have no idea how fast it's changing and people are adapting.
Oh, yeah. No, their NFTs are dead. Long live digital collectible.
It's the same thing.
That's right.
I'm like, it may not be called that, but it's the same thing.
That's right.
It's changing. It's adapting. Everybody said the internet was over after the .com boom. The internet was a fad. It was over. No, it grew. It found its place.
Exactly right. So... it is evolving. It is changing. It's going to be, look, man, I think this year is going to be is obviously a bear market, and it's going to be that way for the rest of the year. Which is it is expected. And then I think next year is going to be about the same. It'll be flat. You're not going to see a lot of people, there's always breakouts, but it's not going to take off like a rocket. I believe. And, I don't know. I'm not psychic. Do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, all that. But I do believe that 2025 is the next large bull run. And so right now is the time. It's very difficult to make money in the space. So instead of trying to make money in the space, it's time to build your brand, build your product, get everything you possibly can done and ready so that when 2025 comes and when the bull run does happen, if it happens, right? Nothing is foregone. That all of us, every single one of us in all of our communities and everything that we're working on can be ready to take full advantage.
Yeah.
Right. Because you get one shot and it's going to be a crazy year. And so I will say this, the projects that blew up in 2021 were working on their projects in 2020. They weren't building. Most of them were not like starting to build in 2021. They were already in progress. Mm-hmm. Right. So we'll be planning it. We'll be setting it up. Web3 Comic-Con is a staple. I think when you guys see what we're accomplishing and what it's going to be when we go live, I think everyone's going to take notice and really genuinely understand that we're basically the new like pop culture convention. We are the definitive pop culture convention for Web3 in the space. And it's online. It's all online. So anywhere in the world you can attend, which is great. So I'm pretty stoked.
I miss real conventions.
Well, you just went to one. You can't.
I know, and I miss it already. I still like going.
Oh, I do too. I do too. But well, here's the problem. The problem is that there's a lot of the conventions in Web3 are more like industry, because they're industry conventions. Like the tickets are like $700, bro.
Did you hear
they're not
all the
$40
crap
tickets.
that's getting pulled from San Diego?
Do tell. Break into it. By the way, I just want to say before we jump into Andrew,
Oh yeah.
I want to welcome Dusty. I want to welcome Avery. I want to welcome Zach, and I want to welcome Katie is not a whore, aka Ramel. What's up, Ramel? First Friday, brother. What's up?
Me you didn't do all those introductions while I was gone?
I was talking. All right.
What's
Ramel bounced. That's great.
And there you went.
I was going to ask him what's the Katie's not a horror reference.
Yeah, I don't know that one. We'll have to ask him when he fixes his stuff. Andrew, go for it. What are they pulling from San Diego?
Writer strike. Actors joined.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, it's not just the writer's strike; it's the actors have joined them.
I just said that.
I was coughing, man. You got to give me a break. I'm an old man. My ears clog when I cough. So, but yeah, they're pulling stuff out left and right, and and it's for all the people that go to San Diego Comic-Con for all the movie and Hollywood stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they're going to be really disappointed.
What? They so all of that stuff. Did all that stuff pulled out?
Yeah, it's like a week away too. Yeah, they're canceling stuff left and right. I mean, there's been big announcements almost every day of things getting pulled and canceled.
Yeah, according to their union contracts, they can't do anything promo.
Yeah, they're not allowed. They're not allowed to talk about their upcoming projects or their current projects. They're not allowed to promote them. I mean, wow.
They're not allowed to do conventions.
They picked the worst time to do this, right before San Diego, because I think San Diego's like next weekend or something, right?
Yeah, and San Diego's become a big deal for Hollywood movies.
Yeah. It's a shame. It used to be a comic book convention.
It's going to have to be again.
I tell you what, a Hollywood strike, a writer's strike, had no effect whatsoever on Heroes Con. It was still a great con.
Oh yeah,
we had a great time, and I really, really do wish. Are we being swatted?
What?
There's,
I don't understand.
There's black people on the stream. It's weird.
That's not
okay.
That's not swatted.
Andrew got kicked. What's up, MK? How you doing? What's up, Carrots? What's up, Miles? Welcome.
Hello, fine.
Ramel, when you he can't hear yet. Lee. When
your mic don't work.
Hold on. Let me unmute him. You're muted, brother.
You're muted. There you go.
Y'all hear me?
Perfect.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right.
So, question, Ramel. Quick question. We've been debating? What is Katie's Not a Horror? I don't know the reference.
What was the movie with Will Ferrell and John Heder? Where they were men's double skating.
Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory.
Yes.
I haven't seen that. So
MK guessed that. MK guessed that early on.
Oh yeah, MK got it. Blades of Glory. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. That was a scene where John Heder thought that Will Ferrell had slept with his girlfriend, which he tried, but he backed out last second, and he went to the finals and he was screaming, "Katie's not a whore." Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, my first Friday, and started out really, really rough.
Man, you're good, man. Welcome home. We welcome you here, sir.
Okay.
How have you been, brother?
No, I had to fit the quota tonight. All right, I get it.
You did have to fit the quota.
Oh.
That's all right.
He's our DEI representative, so we're glad he's here.
Oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't get kicked for that? Really? Okay.
It's all about how you say it, Andrew.
It really is.
If you're just saying facts, that's okay.
It's really about the sensitivity.
It's all about your delivery.
Yes.
Well, I heard they were talking about it on YouTube about how some of the major companies had had purged or got rid of or fired their heads of their DEI divisions. And the funny thing is they were all black females, which I don't know what that says about it, but you know.
I have no idea.
Well, by the way, Galaxy Rider, welcome. How you doing? So we got a couple things. So okay, couple things tonight. We got some good stuff going on. I've got two things. I know some of you guys, if you're Twitter nerds, have totally seen because it kind of went viral. But I know these dorks on screen have never seen it, so that could be interesting. I also have a bit of like extreme nerd trivia that I didn't know that I just discovered. Maybe Andrew probably knows this. He might know this. So what rabbit hole would you like to go down first? The super quick comic book nerd trivia or the viral thing that's going to make your head explode?
Oh,
Comic book first.
Comic book first?
Yeah.
Okay. So the comic book thing is, here's a question for you. Okay, so this is something I totally didn't know. Gil Kane was drawing a book and passed away. And it was taken over by John Buscema, who passed away pretty much right after drawing it, making this one book the last published work of Gil Kane and John Buscema.
Oh, shit.
What was it? Here, so there's a double thing. This is like hardcore. I did not know this, so there's no chance in hell that I would have ever gotten this. What was the name of that book, if you know it? And for bonus points, who inked it?
I don't know. But
was it the Jurassic Park from Topps?
That's actually a good guess, but no.
Okay, because I remember Gil Kane actually worked on that book, but I don't think he finished the series. But okay, that would be my guess without looking it up.
That is not a bad guess.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to take a shot?
No. Tell us.
No, totally giving up.
Yeah. Tell us.
Okay, so it was.
Show us.
I'm going to share the screen. Let's see. I was like, I don't even remember this book. It is Superman: Blood of My Ancestors by Gil Kane, John Buscema, and Kevin Nolan.
Believe it or not, I actually have that in my store.
You have this in your store?
I have no idea. I've never seen this.
I've never seen this book before.
It's one of the Elseworlds stories.
Yeah, I'd never ever heard of it, seen it, or anything. It's unbelievable. It's pretty crazy. So this book, it's really interesting because the modern stuff was done by Gil Kane. Basically it's a modern story and it also goes back in time. So he's drawing it and you can kind of tell he was drawing it and bouncing around because I would say most of the book is John Buscema. So he's drawing this. Of course, this is Gil Kane, which is crazy, right? And then when you get to around, let's see. Yeah, there you go. This is now John Buscema coming up here. Let's see.
Inked by Kevin Nolan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there you go. That's clearly John Buscema, right? And so it's basically like Superman as Conan the Barbarian.
Yep.
Right. And it's really cool, man. The story actually seems really good. Of course, kind of the only problem that I have with it is that I love Kevin Nolan, but Kevin Nolan's everything.
Yep.
So it's John Buscema, but it's kind of like Kevin Nolan, which kind of works for this book because you've got two different artists, and Kevin Nolan kind of makes it Kevin Nolan,
brings them together. Yeah.
But it is really cool. It is really good, and I'm stoked. I've never seen this before, so I'm very curious to read it and to check it out.
Just quickly, what's the name of again? Let me check my inventory and see.
Superman: Blood of My Ancestors.
Yeah, it's kind of something we should track down.
Yeah, I know I've had it at one point. I know I've had it in my store at one point. So, yeah, that is kind of cool.
It is cool, right? So, highly recommend it. I'm gonna set up for this other thing. While I'm doing that, you guys can like take the boat.
Yeah.
And
MK has a question.
MK does have a question. Let's do that question. So
Yes.
MK said, question for the crew. Niece is visiting, just got her first comic, which is awesome. Congrats. We got 2 regular Godzilla that came out this month, and I got her a graphic novel, Supergirl and Spider-Man. Are there any good ones for Godzilla and those types of monsters that I can look for to get her later on, since the local comic shop doesn't have any? He's thinking Mothra, King Ghidorah, Gamera, things like that.
I have no personal experience with Godzilla comics, but if I was going to look, I would, me personally, I would go looking at some of the Dark Horse stuff from like the 90s. They had some Godzilla stuff they did. I would probably start there because, well, Dark Horse in the 90s, a lot of their stuff tended to be pretty decent, at least story-wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the ones that I think of are what do you call it? The ones that I think of are what were those Dark Horse comics that Art Adams did all the covers of? It had like, you know what I'm talking about? It had Godzilla on the covers, and then it was like
I think those were
Creature of the Black
Lagoon. I think some of those were Dark Horse Comics Presents.
Were they? I thought they did a whole run of like Godzilla and monsters.
No, they had a run of Godzilla that he did the covers, and there was also like one shot for Creature from the Black Lagoon, and he did the cover and so forth. Yeah.
Didn't he do that book, The Creature of the Black Lagoon?
I remember him doing some of the interior art. I don't think he did the whole thing. He might have done the whole thing.
What about so Andrew? What about as a recommendation? And it might be a little more adult, but didn't Jeff Darrow's Samurai Cowboy, what it was, Shaolin Cowboy?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't that end up being like a kaiju battler at the end of it? Like basically grew into a kaiju battler.
Honestly, I don't remember how that ended. It had the issues I remember reading had to do with talking dogs and redneck Nazis and crabs, and I don't remember kaijus in there, but there might have been.
Redneck Nazis.
Yeah,
it's like, it sounds like a documentary of Jacksonville, Florida. Anyway,
did you hear about that Burmese python that they killed?
No.
Oh
was
God!
Florida's
Yes.
largest. It was like the length of 2-story building. It took them over 3 minutes to actually kill it because it fought back so hard. But yeah, the Burmese python hunting season is open right now, and yeah, the pictures are crazy. They found one that had like over 30 eggs in it and everything. Oh yeah.
Oh no, I was thinking of something else. I believe Art Adams did draw that Creature from the Black Lagoon book because it's going for $40 to $75.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God!
Really? And I do have a copy of that Superman book in the store, by the way. So I got an idea, and if your guys are up for it, maybe I'll send one of you a copy of that book. But I was reading something on Instagram. I think it was the Travis Cherez fan club, where somebody had found a picture, a color photocopy from a sketch that he had done in a sketchbook back in his days when he worked at Wildstorm. Come to find out that they had a sketchbook that they passed around the studio, and everybody just added to it whenever they got a chance. And the sketchbook that they all worked in, everybody from Jim Lee to Wolf Pertasio, everybody, has been lost in time. Nobody knows exactly where it is. And somebody was able to find photocopies of some of the pages, and they were sharing them on, it was either the Wildstorm Instagram page or something like that. But the bottom line is, it got me thinking about, if we ever had a studio, it would be fantastic to have a sketchbook that we just swapped around with everybody, and everybody added something new to it. And I think we could still do that. I'm thinking I'm going to go to Michael's, buy a sketchbook, maybe a hardbound sketchbook, maybe not a full-size one, maybe a mini one. I don't know, whatever you guys are up for. And then actually mail it to somebody, like mail it to Avery and have him add to it. But include, of course, some comics or something else, not just the sketchbook. And then when he's done with it, have him mail it to Todd, mail it to Romel, or Romel mail it to me, and we could just pass it around and we'll see what happens.
I like that. That's a cool idea.
Yeah. Well, whoever gets it first after me will get the copy of Superman Blood of My Fathers or whatever it is.
Oh, there you go.
If you want to share it with the next person, that's perfectly fine. Or if you want to keep the copy, keep the copy.
I like that. Maybe
it's just something to
share.
Encourage everybody to share it. Yeah,
I think that's awesome. I actually really think that's a neat
so
idea.
if you guys are up for it, I'll pick up a sketchbook this weekend.
We should keep that going.
I've got a box of stuff I've got to send to Avery that's sitting down here, and something like this would encourage me more to send that. So
I think that's a good idea. I think that's.
By the way, Avery, your box keeps getting bigger and bigger. I have to get a bigger box now.
When Avery, how do you feel about your box getting bigger and bigger?
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
Hey, Andrew, all I would recommend, do not ship that through UPS right now.
Wait, Ramel, tell us why.
Oh, I'm also supposed to ask you guys if you got your save the dates.
I did, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Ramel, how are things in the shipping business, sir?
Things are busy, but not well.
Don't be revealing no company secrets here, but.
Oh, I'm holding a lot of company secrets.
Okay.
But what I can say confidentially is that there's a
on the live stream. Go ahead. Just us.
Yeah,
just us talking.
It's fine. No. Nobody's watching.
I won't say anything compromising. All I'm saying is that the employees and management are not seeing eye to eye so far as in, let's say, the economy and economics. There's a big gap that we're trying to close, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
Got it. They're getting ideas from the writer's strike. We get you.
It's it's a little bit more. Remember when like everybody remembers COVID? It just happened 2020. Mm-hmm. So the entire country shut down, but we kept working. So now that the labor workers are understanding their value, like, hey, the country kind of needs us, but we're not getting paid compensation for it. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of important. So you got to pay us like we're important. Yeah. So that's what the big conflict is.
Has anybody here gone to the post office and bought stamps lately? They're 63 cents a piece now.
Are they really?
Yes. And they're going up again.
Damn.
Really?
Yep. 63 cents a piece.
Yeah, well, it worked.
I remember when 50 cents was ridiculous. They went up and didn't tell anybody. They just kept raising the price.
64 cents, you said?
63 cents. Yep.
63 cents. Yeah. I mean, it worked really good for the comic industry. It's fine.
Yeah.
Miles says my brokerage account is going to need a 2-day heads up if you work things out at UPS.
Well, I'm looking forward to actually shipping things out because I recently placed an order for BCW, which is the company that I get my bags and boards from. Mm-hmm. Well, in order to get free shipping, you have to make an order of at least $100. Well, the bags that I needed only came to like $75 because I needed regular bags and I needed magazine bags. So I was looking for something else to add to the order. And they actually have their own version of Gemini mailers.
Oh, nice.
So I got 10 of them just to give them a shot, just to see how they work. And I'm looking forward to sending stuff out. I just haven't done it yet because I'm a lazy ass.
Carrot says, stamps at the post office, Nerd Den turned into an antique talk.
Speaking of antique.
Wait. Miles says, wonder who's on the 69 cent when it comes out.
69.
Well, I was at the post office the other day and I knew my daughter needed stamps. So I asked them, I picked up 100 stamps for her And I asked the lady, I said, what do you got? And I said, I'm looking for something pretty. And she goes, well, we have flowers and we have elephants. And I go, give me the flowers. Okay. So I bought 100 stamps for it. And it was $62.50 or $63, something that was like crazy.
Good Lord. Yeah.
So I've been, you guys may not be able to see it, but my stack of need to be pressed books has gotten a lot smaller because I've started doing more and more quick pressing, which is steaming them and then pressing them for about 20 minutes in the heat press and then letting them sit for anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. So I've been doing multiples a day. And you guys want to see what's in the press right now that I'm getting ready
let's do it, man.
and then see what's going to go in it next?
No, go for it. Yeah.
All right.
Let's
take a look. This will be a new segment. What's in the press? What's in the heater?
What is Andrew steaming?
Ooh, I like that one too.
I guess it's better than when we all get together and turn off all the lights and play What's in My Hand. It's usually followed by a round of What's in My Mouth.
Oh no.
The disappointment in my life right
now.
now.
The games from college I missed out on.
What's in my mouth?
From college I missed out. That was one of those games you guys played while you were in Atlanta, right?
The answer is weed.
All right, let's see what I got.
There's a lot of weed.
All right, looks like we've got a copy of Marvel Tales number 55. This,
oh my god, that looks good.
This reprints one of the, I believe this is the Ramita, one of the Ramita seniors. It is issues. I mean, look at that splash page to begin the story.
Oh god, dude, those Marvel Tales are fucking amazing.
Yeah. Now this one, I mean, it's not in the greatest condition, but when you press it, the cover looks so much better. I mean, there's a chip out of the corner.
Oh, that's
but pressed. Oh, it's beautiful.
You're saving that for me, right, Andrew?
I told you, I got to take it to the store first.
You take it to the store.
If nobody buys it,
so Ramel, I don't think you heard. So I bought this. Well, I'll show you later. I bought this comic at Heroes Con for $1. It's a beat up copy of an old ass issue of Fantastic Four. I absolutely love it. The colors are just amazing. It's so good.
I do have 2 issues that I set aside for you, Todd.
Okay. Awesome.
The next one that's coming out of the press is Marvel Tales number 56.
Oh, god damn it!
Is another.
That's another. By the way, I looked at that run. That Marvel Tales run from issue 30 to like issue 100 is or issue 90. Like it's all John Romita Sr. and like a couple of Gil Kanes in there. It's just monstrous.
Just sell them to Todd.
The 2 comics that I put aside for Todd. One is an Avengers number 205.
Oh yes,
with the Vision versus Claw.
Oh, that looks great.
And then the other one is that one that had that splash page that I sent you.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you.
The Marvel 2-in-1 thing in Power Man. The reason why I'm sending these to Todd is because at some point there was either a coupon or a Marvel stamp in these books and somebody cut them out.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
And it doesn't affect the book or the story, but it makes it where I can't. I'm in good conscience. I'm not going to put it in my store for any amount.
That's okay. I will take your trash. It's fine.
Yeah.
I accept.
You want to see some of the stuff that I put aside for Avery recently?
Oh yeah. Wait. Why is it? Wait a minute. Why do I get 2 books and Avery has a stack?
Avery sent him money.
Avery sent me money. Oh, this is just a couple of things. This is a Conan the Barbarian issue 151. It's a John Buscema issue.
Oh, it's so sick.
I threw this in his stack simply because somebody wrote their name on the cover. And
it probably says John Buscema.
No.
That'd be great. He's like, wait a minute, it does.
I don't know what it says. I don't know. And then the other one is the Mark Teixeira Conan issue.
Oh, look at that.
Where he did the cover and the interior.
Look how good these covers look. Why does every cover look spectacular?
And then there's this. I had bought a collection of comics from somebody who brought them in, and in the stack was a bunch of like classic covers, stories, like really great looking old books. And then once I realized that all the back covers had a Stridex advertisement on it, that it wasn't what it really is. This is Marvel's second print of Tomb of Dracula.
Oh, interesting.
Issue number 25. It's a
Holy.
second print. It was from a campaign that J.C. Penney's was doing.
Oh, wow.
And they printed a whole bunch of different issues, like key issues. And this one is just Gene Colan goodness. But I mean, you can tell that it's not the original version.
Yeah.
Because it's got a Stridex advertisement on the back.
Andrew, turn it around, show the camera the cover again. What, guys, just out of curiosity, in terms of trade dress, like you see how at the top it has that, it's laid out different where it says Marvel Comics Group at the top, and then it has the price and the number, and then it has Dracula in that circle.
Yeah.
Do you like this is like the 70s style, and then they moved in our generation, they moved to the rectangular box.
Mhm.
Like which one do you like more? Just
It
out of
depends
curiosity.
on the book.
Mm.
It depends on the book. Like for Dracula, I like that.
By the way, this was 1974 is when it was originally published.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So good.
Oh, and I wanted to tell you guys, I got stuck checking out. I got stuck checking out auctions.
Were you getting out of your car? Can't get out of the bathtub? Like what?
Checking out auctions on eBay.
Oh no!
And I recently picked up some CGC slabbed books from eBay.
Oh boy!
And I'm happy with them. And I'm going to take them to the store. I'm going to put them up in the store. They weren't for me, but one of them is one I really, really like. But if I told you the price that I paid, you'd be shocked.
Well, what are they?
Well, the first one is a classic from the 90s that we are very familiar with. It's Ghost Rider number 2, the Texie era Ghost Rider.
I probably have that.
This is a 9.4 slabbed edition.
Nice.
It is the first appearance of one of his bad guys, Blackout. And a 9.4 is not a bad grade. And I'm actually bidding on a number 1 copy from this series right now.
Oh, cool.
Last I checked, I got outbid at $13. So we'll see how it ends.
I like how you're now falling into the CGC graded. You've it's a deep well, sir.
The other one that I picked up just because I really like the cover. It's Sam Wilson, Captain America number 3. This is the alternate cover by Steve Epting, which is a really good image of him.
It's a good cover.
But it was a 9.2.
Yep.
But see, what's so funny is modern books like this, anything less than like a 9.6 and people don't care. Collectors aren't going to bid on them and aren't going to try to purchase them because a modern book you'd find. But honestly, looking at this, I don't see much wrong with it to begin with. So, but I mean, it was a fantastic looking cover. And I picked it up because I picked it up for cheap. Needless to say, the shipping costs was more than the books themselves.
So, interesting.
Yeah. And I'm keeping an eye on a couple other auctions because there's stuff out there that you can find at a really damn good price, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta try to make sure you swoop in at the last. I think one of those I was the only bidder, and the other one I won it at the last second. But yeah,
nice.
From you don't got porn in the background, do you?
Not this time. But you know what? It's so funny you say that because
oh no, it's not funny. It's reality.
We would show you, brother.
No, but Andrew.
Yes.
On your travels, and you come across a certain run of comics, I want you to pull them to the side and name your price.
Okay.
Bondage Fairies. Oh yeah, the Penthouse comics. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are so good, man.
They're not impossible to find, But the last time I saw anybody that had them, it was at a show. So it'll have to be at a show.
My favorite. So the crazy thing about Penthouse Comics. So for those that don't know, like Penthouse decided to jump in the comics game, and for whatever reason, they got the best artists to do that stuff. Like all like legends. And I'll tell you what, man, my favorite Jason Pearson art is like Savage Dragon, Blood and Guts, and that first run of Bounty Bags, and those books, bro.
Oh yeah,
It's so good.
Yeah, mine has a story by him in it. I can't show you the story, but yeah, I know exactly.
Is it the one where the girls fight Dracula?
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Isn't that whole issue by different people at Gaijin?
There's a lot of them in there. Yeah, Adam Hughes.
But remember, there was two particular comics. There was Penthouse Comics, and there was Men's Adventuring Comics.
Yep.
I don't know if it was Penthouse that did it, but I'm pretty sure it was.
I think so. Yeah, the Men's Adventure stuff was Penthouse as well.
But my favorite two artists, flat out, was the Mark Beecham story. Was it Plan 9 from Outer Space?
Yep. Plan B. Wasn't it Plan B from Outer Space? Something like that. Like they changed it from Plan 9, something like that.
Yeah, because Plan 9 from Outer Space was an actual movie. Because
right.
I watched it. I was like, oh wow. I was hoping the movie was going to be something like the comic, but I was
sorely disappointed.
Oh, I was disappointed. I was. Mark Beecham was one, and the legend was Milo Manera.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, last week, Ramel, we were on Friday. Was it last weweek? I was showing last time we did a Heritage auction, they actually had a Mark Beecham painted cover from his Samaree run when he was at Continuity Comics.
Do you have any idea how much it went for?
I can probably find out.
It was a rather reasonable price when we looked at it. So
it went for like $600. It wasn't bad at all.
Oh wow!
Considering, yeah, it was crazy.
Very, very funny, Avery.
What's that? Happy porn.
So the next two books that are going in the cooker are.
Oh, hold on. Let me share you. Hold on. Carrot says going down the auction rabbit hole is trouble.
Yes, yes,
it really is.
Marvel Tales number 131 and Marvel Tales number 120. So what I've done is I've put a magazine backboard in the middle with the staples in order to protect the comic from the staples as it's being pressed. And then between both the cover in the front and the cover in the back is a piece of 65-pound cardstock paper. And I have my little handheld steamer warming up right now. And the press is warming up as we speak. So once I get some steam going, I don't know if you can hear it.
I'm really curious. I don't know. I know you're
we're gonna steam the books.
That's how you steam it right there? That's actually what you do?
Just steam it. It moistens the comic, it moistens the cover just a little bit, not too much.
Oh, you get
doesn't get it wet. It just moistens it.
It's getting moist now.
Ramel, watch it.
Working it from left to right, up and down. Make little small circles and make them.
Oh no!
There you go. Now do the alphabet.
Then I take it and I put it on the press, lay it down flat on a piece of another piece of magazine sized backing board. And I steam the next comic.
Oh yeah, slow down, Andrew. Slow down.
Take it slow.
Go slow.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Almost.
All right, hold on.
Almost there.
God.
Yeah, flip it over.
Can I just kick everybody right now? Is that okay here?
Zach's probably sitting there going, I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, no, Zach is just chilling. Carrot says, I've been looking to pick up older Twilight Zone and Outer Limits comics. Need to figure out what are good prices.
Oh yeah.
Well, Andrew's got the guide on that. He could probably tell you.
Honestly, guys, once Ramel started bringing up Penthouse Comics, I just wanted to see the fireworks.
Well, the funny thing is all of us here, Todd, Avery, I, Romel, we all owned every single issue of that run.
Yes.
Yeah, we all had them. And
No, I have a gap. I'm missing maybe a few, but I do want to start at Penthouse Comics 1, which I know is like finding the Dead Sea Scrolls at this
Yeah,
point.
really. Yeah. I've seen them at conventions. We can pick them up.
Yep.
So,
Check this out, brother. So I was wrong. It went for $15.60, which is still ridiculously undervalued.
That's still not bad, man.
Bro, look at this. Ramel,
I mean-
you're looking at this, Ramel?
oh yeah, I'm loving it, but 15.6, that really kind of.
wasn't it decent size too?
That's not too bad, man.
Well, it is. I mean, some of his other pages are like $3 or $4 grand, like the stuff for Marvel. So it's just not as valued as much as a popular character.
I don't
But-
think he's doing a lot in the industry right now.
No,
so.
he's not. But look how, I mean, he's just a king, dude. He's. I remember seeing this as a teenager, and I couldn't fucking like the originals when he came to Jacksonville. And I couldn't wrap my head around like how he was doing it.
Yeah,
I
I hate
couldn't
to say
figure
it
it out.
though. Romel could knock that out.
Yes.
Oh yeah, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, Ramel, you always had the ability.
Yeah, his subject matter was right up my alley.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Camel toes.
Camel
Yeah.
toes.
Yeah.
Big hip women. Gotta love that big one. Yeah, I got something for you.
World-renowned camel toe artist.
So since I'm got the screen pulled up, you want some interesting internet stuff?
Oh man, I'm going down a rabbit hole looking at these old Gold Key Twilight Zone comics since Carrot brought them up. Dude, these covers are freaking amazing.
Pull it up, man. While you're doing that, I'll show you a couple things.
Please don't.
So what did you say? Please don't.
Yes. I know. I feel like I know where this is going.
You know exactly where it's going.
Oh, God.
I'll share a couple things, and then
I'm sharing it.
okay. I'll do Avery first. We'll do Avery's first.
I'll just show a couple of these covers.
Oh yeah, those are so classic. Yeah.
Dude, look at
Well,
these.
were those also paperback covers as well, or were they just
No,
pure
these are comics.
These are comics. These are the
Dell-
old Gold Key
Yeah.
comics for Twilight Zone.
Golly,
Look at
man.
these illustrations, man. Oh, that one's Dell. Gold. Look at that, dude. These are phenomenal illustrations for these covers. They're amazing.
I have one of the Whitman comics Twilight Zones, issue number 57. Let me see if I can find a copy so I can show you what it looks like.
All right.
Yeah,
Carrot says he loves those.
yeah.
you
You should definitely. That looks like something worth getting into.
He says I need to do more research to learn about it.
Yeah, if you're going to get the Gold Key or the Dell or all of them, or
Yeah, those are really good books. And Carrots, I'm sure they're actually not expensive if you end up getting kind of a beat up copy, or like one that's not like gem mint or something like
yeah,
that.
reader copies. Yeah, those look good.
I gotta wait for Ramel's off screen. I gotta wait till he comes back.
Those covers are beautiful.
Oh, here, I'll show you the cover that I have. This is a copy that I actually have in the store.
Ooh.
It guides for $60 ungraded, and I think I have it listed for $30.
$30.
Maybe
Yeah.
you could work something out with Carrot.
I gotta check. It's one that I need to check and see. I might need to press this
That
because
looks
it's been in
awesome.
the store
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, those are great covers.
A child summons monsters from the beyond,
That's
then
awesome.
forgets the magic to make them disappear. Oh shit! That's what you get for messing with kids. Kids and
Yeah.
magic.
And Says the guy with a van full of candy. Carrot says that's probably all I would get, just readable copy so I can keep. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm into.
You can
as well.
find them. You can find them.
That's pretty much what I'm into as well. Like I've got this copy. I was Ramel, check this out. You'll appreciate this. Like I got this at Heroes Con a couple months ago. I paid $1. Now it's beat to shit. Like it's taped up. It's not worth anything, right? Right? I mean, it's got like a ripped. It's ripped to shit. But dude, the artwork is Jack Kirby in his prime, and the colors. Look at this.
Yeah. See, with
Look
me,
at that.
I would still get it just for the artwork.
Right? Like it was so good. I'm realizing, and I was telling Andrew this last week. I'm realizing that, we grew up in the '90s, so I'm used to that kind of a print style, like the Jim Lee stuff. But I'm looking at this older stuff on the same paper, and it was so. I understand why Jack Kirby was so big because it just pops off. I mean, look, you're even small, and you can see exactly what's going on, and every panel pops. Every single panel pops. It's just crazy. So I'm really getting into these older issues. They don't have to be mint or anything. They can even be missing cutouts and all that shit. Like I'm just looking at it to get inspired. All right, I got a couple things for you. Some of it has sound, but this first one doesn't. So first, you do a share. Oops, share. This will make you feel old. This was going around the internet. So they put the Discman with the anti-skip system in a museum. So it's officially a museum piece.
Wow.
Well, at least it wasn't a Walkman. The tape
Yeah.
player.
Well, no, they've got that in the museum too, bro. I'm sure. So
You know what? I scrolled past that earlier today. I had no idea what it was. Now I know.
you saw this. You saw this?
I real quick, just like brushed past it.
Yeah.
But see
Absolutely.
that's late enough that it plays MP3s, so you could have a whole bunch of songs on your CD and it would still play it.
Right.
Circa 2002. That's not that long ago, guys.
It's
Yeah.
20 years, man.
Yeah, it's still not that long ago. I graduated 10 years before that.
Which
'Cause
makes you old, yes.
Because when those CD players came along, man, everybody put them in their car. That would play MP3s, so you could have like hours worth of music on one CD that you burned on your home computer because you just left it all MP3s. You didn't convert it to WAV.
Oh no, that was around the time of LimeWire.
Yep. You could just do just tons of music on one CD. By comparison, we're used to like 13, 15 songs. Your CD was full.
Yep. Carrot says 2002 is a museum piece. Gotta find my walker. Yeah. Well, I don't feel too bad about it. I still feel like you could find this on eBay pretty cheap and like a sealed thing, but maybe not. Maybe it's really hard to find.
Who knows?
It's probably difficult. So the second thing is more modern, super tech. So this is the future of cinema. Steve Mills wrote, "This future cinema will change will be in the hands of creators, not the studios. Writers and directors can bypass the entire system. No more $200 million budgets, more like 2,000. We are entering an exciting new era for film." So he made this. This is using a new system it's been on for a minute now, but it's still brand new. But it's Carrot says, "Didn't the first iPods come out?" Yep, they did. This is using an AI called Runway ML, which creates text to video, meaning you can type something in and it will generate video. Okay.
What was that?
So this is all this what I'm about to show you. This was made with AI, all from a text prompt. So now you can type in scene, guy in a white mask in a car looking out the window, and it will generate video of that. Okay. So this was all made. There's nothing real in this. This is all generated by an AI. There are no actors. This is not a real shot. He literally just took text and put it into a prompt and rendered video. You ready for this? It's pretty cool. It's only like 14 seconds, but it's a good demo. You watching this, Ramel, Mr. Director?
Yeah.
All right, watch this. So it's just a loop. That's pretty crazy, though, right?
What was the name of the app?
It's called Runway ML.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing. So Runway ML, if you go to the site, you can actually see all of this right here is all that everything here is nothing more than a text prompt.
Yeah. What I don't understand is the hatred from some people towards the AI. It's like, oh, it's going to replace people's jobs. It's also going to allow you as a creator to make shit outside of the system.
That's right.
You're not going to need the big major publishers, major film producers, major studio houses. You're not going to need millions of dollars to billions of dollars to make your idea. If you have a good idea, you'll be able to make it and put it out there.
That's right. Exactly right.
Because it's just going to, yeah, but it's not there yet. It's not inconsistent from one friend. Like, it'll get there, dummy. It's already doing this good, and it's in its infancy.
And I'll show you another one. This is, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get, whatever. So I'm not going to turn the mute. Well, I'll turn the music on for a minute. Let me show you this. This was also, they processed, this is some death metal band pushed this into AI, and it's fucking terrifying. It's really good. Carrot says looks as it like stormtroopers had a heat gun applied to his head. That's probably what it was. It's probably like stormtrooper in a suit driving a car, a stormtrooper behind a desk. Here, let's see. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to do with audio. So I do want to share the audio just a little bit so you get a little bit of flavor for this. This is a band called Euclid, and the song is called River Pig, whatever. But just watch the footage, and I'll mute it after a second. But I do want to show you the flavor of it. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
It's nuts.
It's absolutely engaging.
Yeah.
So here, I'll mute it because I don't really care about the music. But like, look at that shit, dude. Isn't that absolutely terrifying?
Yeah, it's gnarly.
It's gnarly as shit.
I came across, I wish I could find it again, but I came across this small director who directs videos and stuff, like music videos, and he was doing stuff for heavy metal bands, and he was doing something similar to this, but his results were even more feature film looking.
Yeah. I mean, AI is completely taken over. I mean, this is like when you're, I mean, this is probably, like that's just like crazy.
Have any of you guys watched the Disney Plus show Secret Invasion?
No.
Well, the intro to the show was done with AI.
Yeah. I
People
are all pissed off about
bitching and complaining, and it's supposed to look weird, and it looks weird. It does look like AI, but that was the whole point of it.
Guys, I mean, I think a few sessions back I made the point that this is basically going to upend the old ways of making media, movies, and so on, because you take what we're seeing here and you combine it with stuff like and you combine it with standard CGI animation software, and you basically got a tool that would theoretically allow one guy or a small team of people with access to a high-end computer, to basically generate their own movies. I mean, basically, they could plug in a script. They would have to design the characters themselves, and they would basically just tweak the scenes. But you could use the AI basically to do what we're seeing right here, which is basically take care of all the scut work. Because with traditional computer animation, like 90% of what they do is just like trying to get the movements right. But if you can do that automatically, it's like you can it's basically like directing a movie without actual actors.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry for the acting community. I know why they're striking, but I mean, the cat's out of the bag. This technology is only going to get better, and I have a feeling that the people who are going to benefit from it are people who are, not SAG members, or not, who are not, who are not in the movie making community.
You just have to understand that it's a tool, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you there's no choice, right? I mean, look at this. They're just taking every single frame and pushing it through an AI and getting making it a horror-based thing, and they're getting crazy results, man.
Well, the thing is that you don't, with this, there are no gatekeepers. The only real limit to access is whether or not you can afford the software and the equipment. And yes, it's going to be expensive, but it's not going to be as expensive as a full-on movie production with the cameras and gaffers and best boys and actors and all that stuff. I mean, it's just pixels in the end.
Right.
So I have a feeling that there are a lot of people who were locked out of the, who were basically locked out of, from creating their own stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to find their way in because
100%.
The costs are going to be lowered. And yes, a lot of traditionalist people who say, if it doesn't have live actors, it's not real. Well, that's like people back in in the 90s saying that music using drum machines or synthesizers didn't count. If it didn't have guitars, it wasn't real music.
Right.
It's the way of the future, man. I mean,
you can still use live actors with this AI stuff.
Yeah, but why would you want to?
You may want a particular performance. It's another option.
Well, I guess. I mean, look, look, the right winger inside of me, the guy who makes Attila the Hun look like a softie.
Okay.
Is like grinning and thinking, saying, "Oh yeah, those Hollywood a-holes, they're gonna get what's coming to them." Yeah, oh yeah. But the other guy, I mean, who has actors who are friends, thinking to himself, it's kind of sad because by the time all of us are old men, we might well be living in a world where a live action movie is basically considered like a heritage art. It's like people going to a live action like a movie with actual live actors will be like going to see a Broadway show.
Right. Well, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, what's so crazy, and MK says, "Yay, back to focusing on stories," and Carrot says, "There will be gatekeepers. OpenAI won't stay open, and those with the most computer power, basically, and best AI engineers will keep the best in house." Yeah, I do. It's going to be the best of both worlds, I think. I mean, like when you're talking about this, like Runway, the same program that probably did both of those things. Like you're talking about this, they're erasing things from videos. I mean, basically, what you have to understand is it's already being used in public. It's being used in media. So you really have to treat everything like a feature film now. Like nothing is real, right? Like you're just people are doing this all the time, all day and night now. So it's really like you can take an image and make it move, right? Like these are photographs that they're see, there's your effects. So it's really like remove any background. So click her and boom, no background, pop her somewhere else. Like it's crazy how amazing it is and how much you can do with this stuff already. And it's only been out for like a year, man. Right?
Well, the thing is with COVID and everybody sitting at home, they had to get creative.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think in the future, what's really going to determine who wins and who loses is distribution.
Yeah.
Because, if you think about, if you go back to the early years of the movie industry, back in the 1890s, 1910s, like the reason why the movie industry is based in like Southern California, well, partly it's because that has more light than anywhere else in the country, and in the early days that was a big thing. But also it's because it was on the other side of the country, because Thomas Edison held the patent. So pretty much anybody who wasn't Edison, who wasn't paying Edison, was basically breaking the law. But the thing is, there were a lot of people who were making movies. I mean, the equipment wasn't that expensive. And in the early days, selling movies like 4 or 5 minutes, you could crank them out pretty fast. The people who became the big moguls were the ones who were able to figure out a way to get their movies in front of eyeballs and get paid for it. And I think that's what's going to happen here. That's where it's going to end up gatekeeping again, not the production side, but the distribution side.
Right. No, I think you're probably right. Like, look at this. just so this is for Ramel because I mean, straight up, he's like, this is kind of his space, right? I wish I could make this bigger, but it's embedded. So, but it's like, so you've got a prompt and you just type in whatever it is that you want. A palm tree on a tropical island, right? You've got some upscaling and interpolate to basic settings. You hit generate and it generates a palm tree on a tropical island. And then like, do you like it or not like it? Right. And there's different variations. So, I mean, like you're generating it like you do Midjourney with images. And so now you just have anything at your fingertips. Carrot says that makes sense, Zach. So I think he's right. I mean, if someone like Ramel who has an artistic ability and can storyboard, like he could storyboard his movie or a short, and already with these tools, it wouldn't be like there's still ways to go with like allowing characters to go shot to shot and things like that. Although I think they can do that already, but I'm sure there are problems with it. But you could probably make a really compelling animatic or a short film that was a little slightly abstract already. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty nuts.
Actually, what I was that you could actually do a say like a movie pitch, because not a lot of people realize this, and maybe they do, that the original Deadpool movie started out as a pitch, and it was like deliberately leaked on the internet, and it got a lot of views, and people was like, yeah, I could see that. Next thing you know, the studio picked it up. We have Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I got something else for you. Ready for something? MK says, not gonna lie, I'll be that guy throwing my books into this to get movies I always wanted. Stainless Steel Rat, Incarnations of Immortality, Dresden Files. Yeah, for sure, right? Like, why not? Why that's MK's not wrong. That's where we're gonna be in 5 years. You'll be able to take a PDF or a book, put it into a thing and just render a film, and maybe it's not accurate, but it'll be interesting to watch. It'll be a completely new way to generate content, so this next one, Dusty knows where I'm going. Dusty, where am I going? Hold on, I'm gonna put a solo layout for Dusty. Dusty, where am I going?
To a terrible, terrible place.
Well, look, we're a bunch of old people, and I think it's important that we keep up with the younger generation. Am I wrong?
This is cancer to the world. I'm just saying. I don't know.
I want to know Ramel's reaction. That's what I want to know, because Ramel, this is something.
What?
This is something that Ramel is going to have a high interest in, I think.
Prawn generator? This better not be prawn.
No, it's not. Prawn generator? No, that's coming soon, I'm sure. Carrot says, one day I need to read some of the Dresden Files, for sure. All right. So there is a new trend. I learned of this today. I was today years old when I learned of something called NPC streaming.
What?
NPC streaming. And I'm not going to tell you what I'm just going to show it to you. And I literally had to watch. This is how old I am. I literally had to watch it about 15 times over 2 days to be like, okay, now I understand what's going on.
Is it a person acting like an NPC in a video game?
Okay. So this is for, here you go, Ramel.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, here we go. I'm sure oh God, Carrot's just like, oh God, not this. I know. If you're on Twitter hard, you probably saw this. There's a couple of them, but here's one. This is the first one.
Thank you, CR. Thank you, Kiki. Ice cream so good. It was you, Max. Pop, amazing. Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. Thank you, CR. Thank you, Mustard. Ice cream so good. Thank you, Sky. Gun money. Wow. I got your name. Beautiful gift for you. Take you heaven. Ice cream so good. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Tania. Ice cream so good. Thank you, Saturn. Yes. Do you think? Huh? Woo. Take you, Noel. Take you, Yayita. Yes, popcorn. Yes, popcorn. Yes, popcorn. Yes, popcorn. Oh, take it, Sky. I love. Oh, take your seat.
Okay, so I
What
know you
the
have
fuck?
no
What
fucking
did we
clue.
just watch?
Hold on.
So-
I am gonna show you one more from a better actor. I mean, hers was good. This is actually the second one. I couldn't find the first one that went viral, but the first one she did was
The look
amazing.
on Romel's face.
And
It's like a
just
bit
for
of disgust.
just for
Hold on.
context, she was popping popcorn in like a hair straightener thing, some kind of hair
Yes.
straightener. She was popping
Yes,
popcorn
she was.
kernels.
Okay,
No,
so
I
Yes.
I saw where it was going. I see the applications for it.
hold on. Here we go. So MK says get her a medic. Stroke inbound. Okay, so this is Cherry Crush. So she's I would say she's actually a really good actor, and you can tell it takes a lot of work, but this is fascinating. Okay, ready for this? Here you go. This one's for Avery and Romel. Okay, here we go.
Marshmallow. Crunchy corn, yum! Kitty paws. Pumpkin, yum!
How spicy.
Ice cream, yum! Kitty paws. Ice cream, yum! Once we get to 350, I'll leave, I promise. Stinky swear.
How spicy.
Hot dog, yum!
What the fuck am I watching?
Hot dog, yum!
She's acting like an NPC, and she's reacting to the.
Donuts, yum! I'm hungry. Marshmallow.
Yep, there we go.
Okay, Todd, two things.
Uh-huh.
I am nowhere near drunk or high enough to really appreciate this.
I get it. It's fucking awful.
And two. So basically AI means that e-girls have found an even more powerful way to be annoying.
So do we all understand what's happening, or does it need an explainer?
I have no idea what's happening.
Okay.
So basically, you have an actor that is like inputting their image into the computer, and it's generating.
No, so
No.
she's human, but what's happening is it's a new, basically it's a TikTok thing. They're emulating NPCs. They're humans. It's a chick. She's emulating an NPC from a video game, and people basically are buying emojis or stickers or whatever, and each sticker has a price. And the bigger emojis, the more money she gets, the different actions she has. Right? So her eating the thing is like her gobbling up your money because you're feeding her an emoji. And yeah, MK says, are they acting like an NPC? Yes. It's a Japanese thing. I'll show you the king of this. I don't know who this person is. She's fucking crazy good.
I would like to add that they are making more money than all of us put together.
Oh yeah, no, they're
making like
filthy rich.
$500,000 an hour. Yes.
The girl that I just showed you, the blonde, she's got 500,000 followers on Twitter. She's got 1 million followers on YouTube, and Romel, she has a OnlyFans account. Oh man!
Holy shit, Andrew! Oh, that's
Pretty
good.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I got burned. There's no defense for that one. That was
And the timing.
yeah.
The timing was
Your
great.
face was just so perfect. I couldn't help myself.
So I'll show you one more. This woman is so good at it. I swear to God, this is a real person. But it really, she's very good at this. And these women are making a fortune. MK says because they want to hear her say, "Give me that hot dog." Yeah, 100%. It's just a way to interact with a real, turn your manga anime hentai dreams to life or something. I don't
Why
know.
not just
But-
go to a campsite?
But this woman is ridiculous. It's incredible. so this is a real person. Obviously, she's
It's
wearing
acting like
a
a
costume.
human Tamagotchi.
Yes, she is so
That's
good.
exactly what I was thinking.
It's a human Tamagotchi, right? Kara says the last one actually creeped me out with how good she was.
Yeah,
This
because I caught on. It's like, oh, it's the emoji. She's eating the hot dog. She's eating the cupcake.
so this is, I believe it's either I think it's Japanese. So this girl is king, the queen, whatever. Like Carrots, you thought the last one was good. The last one was great. She's incredible because she has the bouncing and she has the motion of a game.
Yeah.
This one is
look like a Fortnite character.
Oh, Carrots said this one. I mean, this Mako. Yeah, this person is phenomenal. So watch this. Watch how good she is at this. It's kind of crazy. Remember, this is a real person.
That was like hentai.
Yeah.
You're trying to say people are actually paying her money to do this?
Yes.
Lots of money.
All those icons that pop up, those big emojis, those are money. Those are money. This bitch is like a mobile game.
Yes. And they do this for hours.
I don't understand the appeal here. I really am not getting it.
I don't understand the appeal either, but I know what they're doing. And I can't believe they find simps to do it.
Isn't this crazy? Anyway, like she's so good. She even has a delay on her voice. She'll start making the motion and then delay her voice because a game has a slight delay. And she doesn't touch her face because a game wouldn't do that because of the pixel. Like, it's crazy.
What the fuck is the point of all this, Todd?
MK says,
This is what
seriously, did
somebody
someone give a pearl
masturbates
necklace? Yeah, someone gave her a pearl necklace. Galaxy says, what the fuck is this? Tune out to make dinner and come back to other kid TikTok. Galaxy, this is what happens when you go away.
Help me,
what happens when you
Galaxy.
go
This is
away.
my life. This is my life.
Okay, I'm gonna end one. I got one more thing for you in
That's
the world
free.
in the world of
I
Twitter.
can't believe somebody
Please,
actually.
no.
No. This is good. This is good. I promise. This is not weird or creepy. This is actually pretty damn funny. This actually made me laugh. It's pretty funny. So hold on. Let me share this. This is pretty good. All right, here we go. This guy is awesome. I want this guy at my kid's birthday party.
Oh, I've seen these kind of dudes before.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Ready for this? Then this guy, the guy who's just trying to get his ice cream cone, is fucking hilarious, or whatever he's getting. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, it froze. Fuck. Hold on. Why is it freezing on me? That's stupid. It froze on me. Oh my god, it's freezing on me. I don't understand. Hold on. I can't. It doesn't work if it freezes on me. It's that stupid. Anyway, I'm gonna make this work. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm gonna make this work.
Do you have to?
It's funny. No.
You ought to see it when they do that shit to little kids and watch the little.
It's
kids
really
freak out.
yeah. Let's try it one more time.
The kids freak out and start crying and shit.
Oh, it's not gonna play on a fucking screen. Thanks, Twitter. Oh my god.
The lag.
This is not fun. He just refuses. Oh,
He like wiped it on his nose.
Yeah, okay. We'll just try to do it small. Can you see it? I don't know if you
Yeah,
can see it small, but here we go. Let's just do it small. What the fuck? Why is it not playing a fucking video on Twitter? Anyway, fuck this. We'll do it later.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
That's the real video. Reality just keeps pausing there. Yeah.
Yeah, the Matrix is glitching.
We'll do it live. It'll play. It has no notice. It has no problem playing the NPC stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Twitter. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Elon. You dick.
Thanks, Elon. You dick.
You didn't pay your $8. That's why.
I had bottled, you know.
How about those limits on how many tweets you can see now? What the fuck?
Well, they have to do that. I've actually saw a really interesting video from a guy, like a data scientist. It's actually, once I realized why they're doing it, I fully support it. Basically, what's happening is countries are using AI to scrape all of Twitter's data sets. Right. So they're using AI is so powerful. These government, you know how this works. Like, oh, you have the power to make a really cool video. They've been using it for a long time. Right. So Twitter, as you guys know, was pretty much open to the US government and pretty much anyone else for a period of time. And so all of these governments from all over the world, some nefarious governments, including the US and every country, has been using AI to scrape like millions and everyone's data, all of it, just sucking it all in, and then using big data to pull out trends of conversations and sentiment. So not only were they pulling out things like, who you think is going to win the baseball game, they're pulling out like upcoming trends and topics so they could mass censor people, right? So they were using it to mass censor movements all over the world. So crush dissent or crush or censor voices before the trends could pick up, right? Because if you have all the data and you have the power to actually see, like this topic is kind of coming up in the social consciousness, you can crush it really quick, right? Yeah. And so what Elon Musk has been doing with that move to limit tweets and limit views is actually to stop the AIs from scraping everything, right? Or to try to limit. You can't stop it, but you can kind of limit the damage. So because that's what's happening is they were scraping the data, finding out the trends, and then finding the people responsible for those trends, and then banning those people, basically just like wiping them out. Yeah. Right.
Shadow banning them.
Or just deplatforming them or debanking them or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like whatever it takes. So it's yeah. I mean, I would like Twitter to be a little better, but
it's not just Twitter that they're using to do that. Stuff I won't talk about, but because of certain conversations in our sphere in America, certain people around a certain subject are all getting shadow banned.
Well, it's on a lot of things. Like it's even comic people. It's all over the place. It's across the board. But that's the whole point. It's like it doesn't matter whether you're on the left or on the right, or the politics of it doesn't matter because it's not just America, right? Like it's pretty much everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's just whoever's in power doesn't like what you say. They actually have the power now to crush you, and it's like kind of
stop people from it. Like, you're not banned. You're saying whatever you want to say. Yeah, but none of my followers are seeing it.
Yeah. Well. So, Andrew, what else you got for us, man?
I think that was it.
No?
Slabbed comics, stuff in the heater, sketchbook idea.
I got no new pages done because I haven't been sent any pencils.
Have any of you guys watched the Jack Ryan show on Amazon Plus?
Yeah, it's awesome.
My wife and I, we've got like at least one episode left in season 1. There's been some very edge of your seat moments in that show. It's very well done. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. They just released season 4, so we got a lot to catch up on. So,
Hey, speaking of Amazon Prime, have you caught this one show called Hunters with Al Pacino in it?
yes, I've seen it. I haven't seen the whole first season, but I've seen like the beginning of it.
Oh, so you saw
episode
1, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
What was this?
It's a show called Hunters, a series rather, and
Nazi hunters is what they are.
Yeah, they're Nazi hunters.
Okay.
And the setup was so brilliant. It's this one guy, he's throwing like a cookout, like a 4th of July cookout. And he's inviting friends, colleagues over. His wife and kids are there. So he introduces his guest to his colleague that just moved in town or whatever, and say, yeah, this is his wife. So the camera kind of pans away, but not entirely. It goes right back to his wife, and she's like having what looks like an epileptic seizure. But that's not what it is. She recognizes the guy. She's like, the butcher. And she's like freaking out, and she's like, the butcher. I recognize you, the butcher. And she's just going crazy, and everybody's like, the fuck is wrong with this bitch? So she was like, you slaughtered millions. You slaughtered my entire family.
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil what happens.
Oh, never mind. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stop right there. But
you can spoil it.
No,
because it's rather shocking. So.
Oh yeah. I really don't want to take away the surprise at the cookout, but it's how the series starts. And I was like, holy shit! I'm not going anywhere. I got to see how this turns out. It was.
If you guys have seen the last season of The Boys, in which the one guy who shrinks down goes up inside somebody's penis, and then what happens there, it's very shocking. It's shocking.
Wait, Ramel, have you seen The Boys?
Everybody keeps telling me about The Boys.
Ramel, you have not seen this? Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, Ramel!
The Boys is by far the best show for like superhero comics. It is amazing. It's amazing. You start at season 1, just watch it.
Yeah, that funny thing, the guy that installed my security system, he was like, "Oh man, you got to watch The Boys." This is crazy.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, some of the irony that happens in that they put in that show, like the fact that when Derek Robertson originally created some of the characters, especially Wee Huey, he used Simon Pegg as the model for Wee Huey. I mean, if you read the comic, that main character is Simon Pegg. But in the show, Simon Pegg's too old to be that character because he's supposed to be a young guy. They actually got Simon Pegg to play Wee Huey's father in the show. So he is in the show, but he's just not the character that the comic book was based on. But it's still kind of funny in the fact that he's in it.
Ramel, have you read the comic books of the Boys? The original Garth Ennis comic books?
I read it, but like I said, I'm on like YouTube, like almost like it's television. So it's like if there's a popular series, I'll kind of do the cheat code with the YouTube. They'll go through, they'll like summarize episodes or entire season or something like that.
Well, I'll say this. I think with The Boys, it's one of those rare adaptations that actually improved, that actually is better than the original, because they really took a lot of the weaknesses of the comic book series and just kind of, sanded it off. For example, the character of Billy Butcher in the comic book series, he's basically just a sociopath, and you get the impression that he's kind of like Garth Ennis' author avatar. He's doing all the things that Ennis himself wishes he could do in the real world. I mean, the thing about Ennis is that I'm not a fan of him, to be honest. I'll be blunt, but he really doesn't like superheroes, and the character Billy Butcher in the series is just like a straight up sociopath, whereas with the TV series they actually take the time to kind of like, I don't know, break down the character. Carl Urban really kind of like shows that he's actually not just like the Superman psycho. He's actually a really, really damaged person who really like brings like nothing but trouble to everyone around him. And that's kind of how it is in the book, in the original comic book, but it's not as explicit, and it's not as well broken down. So I think they really they took all the good things out of the comic series and they left behind a lot of the really stupid stuff.
So I gotta ask this question. I haven't seen the episode, but in the series, does it actually show Homelander masturbating over the city?
I don't think so. No, they don't. Like I said, they I don't recall them doing that. I mean, they really, like I said, they really did get rid of a lot of the really stupid stuff.
Okay.
I mean, for example, there's no hamster up a guy's ass. Let me put it that way.
Well, not yet.
Not yet. I mean, it's only a matter of time, I suppose.
I'm sure the next season will have that.
Well, if it ever happens, because it looks like this strike's going to last for a while.
Well, no, they've already filmed it. I think it's coming out.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I think they were in like editing mode or something. I mean, the Boys is hard to watch sometimes, but it is absolutely genius. Like, I absolutely love it. I will say it is actually better than the comic book.
Yeah.
Well, the funny story about the comic is that it was originally published by DC, and DC kind of got scared because of all the mature, crazy things they were doing in it, that they literally let Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson out of their contract to publish it with them and told them you can take it anywhere you want, and we will let you do it. They actually backed off from the contract to say, hey, take this and go someplace else with it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it's okay. I mean, look, let me put it this way: the Hero-gasm episode does get pretty close to what you see in the comics.
Hero-gasm, yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
No, actually, I have Amazon Prime now. Before I was trying to watch it on an app, and I saw how like first started where you got the the black guy that's really fast.
A-Train,
yeah.
A-Train is like this guy was talking to this girl, and she stepped off the curve and
she just exploded in red mist.
yeah, I had to literally rewind it like, what the fuck did I miss? So yeah.
Yeah, and Huey's just standing there holding her hands.
Yeah, but that Homelander, he's
a psycho dude.
Yeah, he's a special type of something.
Oh yeah, he's a psychopath.
But and going back to the comment of asses, in Hunters, I was not prepared for that old lady in the shower. I was sitting way too close to the screen on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of rough.
But did you finish?
Of course he did. Of course.
Dusty.
This is what I do on my Friday nights.
Yeah.
You're so lucky.
Great.
Any other good series worth watching while we're all nerded up?
Oh man.
Did you watch the beginning of the third season of The Witcher?
Oh no.
Nah,
I've abandoned Netflix.
Well,
And I know Henry Cavill's not going to continue, so don't. I didn't finish season 2.
I liked season 2. I liked the direction it was going in. Season 3's got some of that story time jumping that becomes annoying. Like there's a whole section of season 1 in which they're telling two stories that are at two completely different times, and you don't realize it, or if you're unfamiliar with the story, you may not you don't realize it.
In season 2, I couldn't make it through an entire episode.
Oh yeah.
I fell asleep every single time, so I just gave up. Plus,
Wait, what was this?
Witcher season 2.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well,
I just got rid of Netflix anyway, so I don't care.
The wife and I have both enjoyed watching the show, but there's a Witcher Origins show that we started to watch. I think we got through 2 episodes and then we got bored and moved on to something else because it doesn't have Henry Cavill in it, and you know.
Well, Henry. The funny thing about The Witcher is Andrew Sapkowski, the guy who wrote it. So basically, he basically wrote it to basically win a writing contest in Poland in like the mid '80s, back when it was still run by the communists. And he then hooked up with Project Red, who created the original computer games. But he thought that, given that he was Polish and he didn't really know, he didn't think the computers were going to go anywhere. So he basically sold them the rights for about 10,000, for the equivalent of like 10,000 US. And of course, they wanted to do what they did, and he was kind of bitter about that afterwards. And it's kind of like become, it's kind of become the series that he kind of wishes that he wish he could get away from, because it's just like it's like he's done a lot of other stuff, but like The Witcher is like the only thing that people actually pay attention to about his work. And the problem is that there's actually like 2 separate timelines, 2 separate sets of canon for The Witcher. Like there's the books, which he wrote. Then there's Project Red, which supposedly takes place before the books. Now there's a TV show which doesn't really follow anything.
Yeah, and he stole his ideas from Elric anyway.
Yeah, but everyone stole shit from Elric. I mean, there's look, if Jamie Lannister from Game of Thrones, like Song of Ice and Fire, is basically Elric with blonde hair and a really inappropriate relationship with his sister. I mean, I hate to say, but Michael Moorcock, that character was revolutionary in his time because he took the concept of the Byronic hero and put it in a fantasy setting. The problem is like everybody's ripped it off. So like what was really cutting edge in the 70s is now kind of like, why is this so important? So.
And that guy that wrote Witcher, he was one of the people that did the censoring for Western material as it came into Poland under communism.
Yeah.
So he would have read Elric and all that stuff, like as a part of his job. He would have read all that stuff, and he'd have been the guy to censor it.
Poland's got some weird stuff coming out of it. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a movie on Netflix called 365 Days. Mm-hmm. It was basically like the Polish version of, what was it called? 50 Shades of Grey. But, okay. with even more explicit sex scenes. Apparently it was a Polish movie, but it was shot in English. And
that makes sense.
It's like, apparently it's like the there's like a photo of the author. She's like this middle-aged woman wearing lingerie floating around the internet. That's her actual like author photo, like her wearing lingerie.
Nice.
Yeah, if you're into that sort of thing. I mean, I tried reading 50 Shades of Grey when it first came out, and I couldn't get I got like 10 pages, and I'm thinking, okay, how is this bestseller? This is like unreadable. It's junior high prose.
I don't know. I've never read it.
Was she on crack when she wrote this?
I don't know. I've never read it. Never seen the movies either.
Well, don't.
I don't want to.
I mean, look. The thing is, though, is that as a sign that basically our Hollywood and the media is completely run out of ideas, they're rebooting the whole Harry Potter series as an actual TV series with an all new cast.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, J.K. Rowling's involved, so more good for her. And apparently, there's also talk of them rebooting the whole Twilight series as a TV series.
It's not even It's like there hasn't even been a whole new generation.
Well, that just goes to show that, honestly, that's why like this whole strike thing is kind of like, who cares? They ran out of ideas a long time ago. I mean, it's like every show that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s has been rebooted There's Magnum PI. There was a Lethal Weapon TV show. There was a Lethal Weapon series. There was Dallas. There was Dynasty.
Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah,
they didn't reboot Walker, Texas Ranger, have they?
Yeah, they did.
Yes. It's terrible.
Yeah.
everything is ruined. Just accept it. This is why we create new things.
I mean, they did a reboot of Shaft, which
that was bad. I hate that. I hated that.
Why? I mean, it's like that movie's like perfect the way it is. I mean, the soundtrack alone makes that movie.
Yeah, you can't beat it. MK says Silo was good, and Carrot says Silo was so good. I enjoyed the first 2 books, but never made it through the 3rd one. I don't know Silo.
Unfamiliar.
What do you guys? So I know Andrew. So Andrew led with this before in the green room. This will be a good, maybe a good closing topic. I'm just curious. Hey guys, what do you think about Kamala's new suit?
Yeah, they killed her, bringing her back as a mutant.
I would just like to point out that this cover was designed by Stanley Artgerm.
He's an amazing artist.
Who's brilliant, and he still can't make her look great. Like he still had problems.
What? Like, how are they going to explain this? She died and she's back as a mutant. Is it going to be like an alternate world version of her?
I don't know. And like they've got this.
She was an Inhuman. You can't change DNA.
Yeah, Jamie McKelvey is a brilliant artist. He's really, really good, and this can't. So she's wearing, instead of I understand they don't want her to have a cape because capes are maybe like a little passe, but they gave her this scarf, and I'm just like, yo, all it's gonna take is someone to choke her out, like.
Hey, come here, bitch.
Like it doesn't. I mean, the cowl kind of thing always made sense because it wasn't like draped, it wasn't like tight around the neck, right? But it just looks like that's gonna be like, a hazard. I don't know. It's not very practical. I'm not.
Now with these colors and all the X's, is she joining the X-Men?
Yes, I believe so.
And they made her a mutant. Apparently.
She's probably gonna be the leader. Come on, like, are we there yet?
Yeah, she'll be like the leader of the New Mutants.
She's probably They're calling her the New Mutant, so she'll probably be like in the New Mutants or leading it, and then she'll end up going to X-Men.
I heard a story that apparently they're replacing Frank Castle with Nick Fury as the Punisher. Is there any truth to that?
I
haven't heard that. I haven't heard it, but I wouldn't surprise me. I will say I'm not. I think the design of the costume is pretty cool.
It's very cosplay-ish.
Yeah, you just can't do anything with the character. Like the problem with the character is that they based her on a somewhat religious Muslim character, which doesn't really work because a religion. I mean, I lived in a Muslim neighborhood for years, and like it wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean? Like they're very conservatively dressed. They don't. That's not the way the families work. 1 and 2, like because of that relationship, she can't. Like this is the problem she had in the first book, and the writers talked about it a little bit. They can't have her on dates. There can't be conflict, right? It's very challenging because they've put themselves into a box of things that they're like growing up. Like our Miss Marvels would get like knocked the hell out by Wolverine or something, and of course they had superpowers, so no one thought twice about it. So it was like whatever.
Hey, wait a minute! Didn't she just recently die? Are they bringing her back to life? I mean, that's a Christian thing, isn't it?
True.
Thank you. I'm here every week.
You're not wrong,
And changing her from an Inhuman to a mutant.
Well, making her an Inhuman was because they had the Inhuman TV show going on.
Right.
Yeah, and Fox
had trying to promote. Exactly.
Yeah, and
exactly.
Fox had mutants. But she was an Inhuman. She was not a mutant. And they've always been like, there's a difference. Okay, there's a difference. How can she be the new mutant now then? If she's, it's got to be an alternate version. She's like Gwenpool. She's from an alternate universe where this Miss Marvel is a mutant, not an Inhuman.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you guys? I mean, I'm not into this suit. I definitely. I mean, this is literally coming from Entertainment Tonight or Entertainment Weekly. So this is why the character exists, because it gets play.
It gets play. It gets yeah.
I mean, I can
not going to sell well.
I can speak to it because I mean, this is not from Marvel. This is from Entertainment. I can speak to this because I was there, and like this is what would happen. Like they would literally call up their friends in the press and be like, you know, they would just place it, and then so they'd know when things run, because a lot of these editors and writers want to work in Marvel. So, you know, whatever. It's the way it works. It's not a big surprise, but like, I just, yeah. Do you guys know how she's going to become a mutant or something?
No, I don't.
How's she going to be resurrected on the third day? Tell us.
Well, I guess I also don't understand like why. I guess they have to bring her into mutant so she can be. Oh, you know what? I bet. I wonder if they're going to be. Are they going to bring her into X-Men?
Well, isn't one of the storylines in the X-Men
like
right
the
now
movie,
where
like the movie,
they can bring a mutant, any mutant, back to life? So if she was always a mutant, then Krakoa could bring her back to life.
But she was an Inhuman.
No, because if she's a mutant, then
they're going to have to change what she is.
Yeah,
they're going to have to retcon. They're going to have to find a good way to retcon that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, mutants came from Inhumans.
Yeah, Carrots is opening Pandora's box on this question. He says, so they get media attention, but if it doesn't turn into sales, what's the goal? I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole. Sales is not the goal.
Sales has not been the goal.
Sales is not the goal, and it's actually fairly complicated because, at least from the comic book side, they don't control anything anymore, right? Like, a lot of it the dynamic has changed so that it comes from Marvel Studios and Hollywood, and there's a lot of issues that the movie side had, which is one of the reasons why a lot of the Marvel characters swapped from men to women and from this character to that character. A lot of that has to do with the aging actor factor, right? Like, you can't just have Iron Man be Iron Man anymore because Iron Man in the movies, Robert Downey Jr. can't play him anymore, and so, or doesn't want to play him anymore, and so we have to change the character in the comic. So who's gonna be the next Iron Man in the comic, right? So they kind of are wrecking their global IP to suit the movies, but now the movies aren't doing as well because they're not. It's like a vicious circle. Like, the movies are controlling the comics, so the comics go down in sales, and then the movies don't do as well, right? But that's because they are sourcing from the comics that they now control, and they've wrecked the stories. So and then you have a lot of added things. Like, there really is. I think some people are trying to tell good stories, but you know, we've entered a time when I think a lot of writers don't necessarily like. We've entered the age of the deconstruction of the character, right? It's you know, we can't have you know, Harrison Ford be an amazing final Indiana Jones. We have to kind of tear him down a bit, right? I mean, he's not that good, right? Luke Skywalker is kind of not that good. We have to deconstruct the character to make new characters look better, right? And I understand the reason for that, because some of these classic characters are so freaking classic. How the hell is any new character going to compete? But that's why you put your time in, right? That's why we do this stuff. That's why everyone in this group right here and everything that we do with Adult Fantasy, like, it takes time, right? Like, you have to build up stories, you have to build up an audience, you have to build up a foundation, and when you try to short circuit that by just saying Thor is now, when all of a sudden you say Thor is a title, not a name, when Thor is the name of a character for the last 60 years, 70 years of comics, right? Like, it doesn't work. people don't swallow that pill. So I think it's a lot of issues, but sales are actually not their concern at the moment, I don't think. So the goal of Carrot says, so the goal of sales is sales of a different arm of the media empire via social signaling, but now we're seeing both sides slumping financially. Wonder how these guys will pivot given this. Right. Well, the thing is they don't tend to pivot. They tend to double down.
Yeah.
So
triple down.
Yeah, it's because they're the writers, they're the smart people, and you're dumb. What you become, and I've witnessed this firsthand, is when you a logical person would say, "Oh, my book's not selling." So case in point, Miss Marvel, as much as you like, it's great that she's has representation and that she's a Muslim character. That's fantastic. And credit where credit's due. She's an original character, right? The problem is that she's not, at least right now, and comics can change everything, right? But as of now, she's not a good character, and nobody buys the comic. She has had something like, correct me if I'm wrong, Andrew, she's had something like 9 series, and they've all been killed. Every series has been cut short because nobody buys the damn book. Yet, she is now the flagship character of Marvel. Like, she's everywhere. She's got her own TV show. Why does she have her own TV show? The book's never sold. Well, she's got her own TV show. How did the TV show do? Terrible.
She's got
because
a movie
nobody cares
coming out.
That's right. So now she's failing upward. Now she's going to have a movie. Who's going to see the movie? Nobody. Well, maybe the movie will. I don't know. But she's never, the character has never had a success, ever. And but it doesn't matter, right? So it's that they've decided that you're basically, you either love what they're doing because they know best, or you're part of the toxic fandom, which is ridiculous. Are there toxic fans? Sure, whatever. Like, it's a rough game, but like they're sort of using that as a mechanism to put people into a bucket who just think the story is bad and they want them to do a better job, right? So the end game is, Kara says, so the end game is just bankruptcy or a slow death, I guess. I think what has to happen, do you remember in the 80s, the Reagan years in the States, like all of a sudden there were like super pro-American movies like Gung Ho, and like Bruce Springsteen was Born in the USA. Like there was a period of like a few years where it was just like Factory Worker USA was like the Top Gun was in that camp, right? Like it was like super Americana stuff. And the reason for that was because they realized at the time anyway that that's where the money was going to be, right? That was the trend of the people. You follow the trend of the people, give them what they want.
Patriotism.
What's that? Patriotism, right. I think what's going to happen is, not to say that we're going to go back to patriotism or anything, but I think that kind of like light bulb moment has to happen where you lose so much money. Like Disney has to lose so much money and so many fans that all of a sudden they have sort of like a Bud Light moment, right? Like what happened to Bud Light? They did the thing with Dylan Mulvaney, the people who drink Bud Light. It's not a brand fit, right? It's not even, we're not even talking about, like, again, not politics, not any kind of anything like that. It's just the people who drink Bud Light. It's not there. It's the wrong. It's not a brand fit. And so the people who supported the brand reacted negatively, and all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, like Bud Light starts releasing like American flag videos and like the Clydesdales running with people like wiping dirt off of their dirty gloves in the mechanics and the people going to rodeos and shit. Like they totally went back to it went too far and the people didn't buy it because it was pandering. But I think that's kind of what has to happen, is that any brand that goes off track eventually has to listen to the fans, because it's not a charity. Yeah. Right. Yeah, but I do think Disney has so much money that they don't even they have a multi-billion-dollar loss. They don't feel it.
Yeah, they haven't pissed off enough normies yet. Right now they're still exhausting us fanboys.
Yeah.
Wearing us out. once it really pisses off the normies that go to the movies, and all the normies have had it, they'll start changing their tone.
Yeah, like my Julia, my 6-year-old, my oldest, she loves monsters. She's not scared of monsters. She loves monsters. She picked up, I had to look at it because I was like, well, I'm not really sure this has I don't know the book. But she was like, we went to Ollie's and she had me pick up this. She was like adamant. I'll show you. She had me pick up Robin, Son of Batman, Volume 2. I don't have Volume 1. She just really was like, she looked at the cover and she was like all about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And the artwork is great. It's actually a good story. It's really cool. I'm still got to read some of it to make sure that it's okay for her. But let me show you some of the artwork. The artwork is cool. It's a typical like an action fight book.
Yeah.
Right. Robin on an adventure, beating up some bad guys, monsters, and all kinds of cool stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Total perfect book. Absolutely cool. She loves this. She loves this kind of stuff, just like we did. Just like we know it works, right? You show her that Miss Marvel stuff, she can't take it. She hates it. She doesn't get it. She's not interested in it. Yeah. She drops it and she goes right back to playing Minecraft.
Hey, right? Todd, can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Or your opinion on something. So, do you think that when it comes to the big two, DC and Marvel, that maybe one of the reasons why they've been so off their game for like the past decade and a half is because they were bought out by larger corporations, and and basically, so like Marvel, for example, has access to basically their, at least until like Disney's recent troubles, they're whatever they're spending on the comic book sector was basically a little more than a rounding error. So maybe the fact that just basically Marvel was basically essentially subsidizing them as a loss leader. Maybe that's something to do with it because they were effectively shielded from market pressures because Marvel was Disney was picking up the tab because for whatever reason because they're making so much money off the movies anyway, and they basically keep the comics around as a way to Anyway.
Test story. It was just a place to get stories from. Yeah, you're 100% correct. So like when I was there when Disney I got there when Disney first bought it, right? It was like after Iron Man 2, I think, maybe 3. I don't remember, but one of the Iron Man movies had just come out, and that was like when I was starting, and Marvel just got bought from Disney, and so I was there for the transition. And basically, the way it worked was Marvel had a floor in a corporate office, and basically there were two sides. You had the elevators in the center, and you had one side and the other side. One side was basically like licensing and paperwork stuff, like all the office stuff, right? Like a lot of like filing and management and all that kind of stuff. The other side was more of the creative side. It also had like the lawyers, but then it was all of us, all the creative people, the editors, and kind of like the comic side, the creative side. And when we got the announcement that Disney was coming in, basically they were going to bring in. So first of it was Disney was buying it, but they're not going to have anything to do with us, right? We're actually keeping everything separate, and everyone was like kind of groaning because, of course, it's just a matter of time, right? And then the next year, so it was true. Like they bought it, and there was no Disney employee. It was just we got all the benefits of being a Disney employee. Like we got discounts to go. We were cast members. We got to go to Disney for cheap or whatever. But there was no necessarily any like Disney interference. They kind of stayed away. And then the next year, there was like a couple of Disney people, but they were kind of like in the corner, right?
Like a secret invasion.
It was a secret invasion. And then after I left, it was already, by the time I was there weren't necessarily a lot of Disney people there, but the Disney influence was controlling what Marvel did. Like they kind of had just a little bit of final say, don't you know? Right? You had mostly freedom, but not totally free. After I left, and we're just talking like a couple years ago, like they were, as far as I heard from friends that were still there, they had actually wiped out. So the next stage was they brought in Disney people and they put them like like the other side, right? The whole, like, here's the creative side, the other side. They ended up filling desks with Disney employees from Disney HQ, but it was still separate, right? And then finally, like a couple years ago, it was finally like there was no difference. It was all Disney employees everywhere, right? And so there's no, like, it's still branded Marvel, but like it's a mix now, and Disney controls, right? And so yeah, there's no, to your point, Zach, like, yeah, it's 100%. Like there's no, and I think the other flip side too was like, I think it's worth noting that a lot of the original Marvel movies that came out were very influenced by Marvel writers. Like a lot of the Marvel writers, Joe Quesada, all those guys would have like summits and retreats with the Hollywood execs, and they would actually kind of help them understand the Marvel universe, right? Because the Marvel guys knew all the continuity. Oh yeah, this happens and this ties into this, and yeah, there's a great scene with that. And they brought in Bendis at the time because he was still at Marvel and all that. Like they had all of these really good, strong creators from Marvel who at least could act as an encyclopedia of reference for Marvel Studios, who is basically just a bunch of Hollywood people, right? That ended. Like they did that for a few years, and like that ended in like 2012, 2013. Like they killed that. And so all of a sudden they basically stopped asking the Marvel people for any advice on the movies. Now they bridged it just like they did with bringing people into Marvel's headquarters, because what they did is a lot of the people who were in charge of the Marvel Studio stuff were also Marvel people who had written comic books, who had the background, right? But then they phased those people out too. Like, when was the last time? I mean, Jeff Loeb, who is a huge comic book writer, he was in charge of a lot of that stuff over at Marvel Studios. He's probably still in charge. His name is probably everywhere, but he's not really like controlling story, like not to the degree he was. And so now they basically now have Disney's taken the reins and said, "No, we got this, guys. We got this from here. Good, thanks for it." And their movies suck. They don't have the same vibe because they don't have the reference. They're not fans of the book, and now there's no longer fans putting their insight into the story craft and into the design of the universe that they're coming out with, and it shows. MK says we're still buying IDW to fix this issue.
Yeah, I know the one of the earliest examples I noticed of possible studio interference is when Sony acquired the rights to Spider-Man, and they did it the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Remember, his webs were organic. Yeah. And I remember watching the movie, I was like, no, that's not what happened in the books. His webs were never organic. They were manufactured because he was a scientist, and they were manufactured from his love of science. He created those webs and shit like that. So I'm looking at the movie like, that's not how it goes.
Right.
But
well, then they changed the character in the comics to have organic webs.
Right. That's right.
That was the beginning of the end when they started changing the comics to match the movies.
Or the one for me that drove me nuts was Wolverine and his claws.
Mystique and her skin condition, Toad and the way he looked. They changed everybody. Yep. Because of the movies. The follow
what
the movies.
It was you had two different Quicksilvers. Remember, you had the Sony Quicksilver, which was
yeah, but they didn't add a second Quicksilver in the comics, though.
I know you had two different versions of them, but I was like, yeah.
Well, they had the reason for two different Quicksilvers is one was the Marvel movie in Avengers, the other was Fox. Fox had the right to mutants, so they couldn't call Wanda and Quicksilver mutants.
Right. Yeah.
They had to get them their powers another way.
Both Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were embedded in both the X-Men universe as well as the Avengers universe.
Yeah.
So they were literally owned by both studios.
Yeah.
So
kind of like a Star Trek thing a little bit. Star Trek has that problem. But Carrot says, so interesting. Had heard much of the same from another source, so it seems to be a consistent criticism. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting that Marvel, like, the merger did the right thing at first, and then as Disney got more control, what happened to all the movies, Marvel movies now, is happening to every property that they control. Like, what's happening to Marvel movies now is the exact same thing that's happening to Indiana Jones, same thing that's happening to Star Wars. Like, it's really fascinating. And I'm not in the writer's room, so there's plenty of stuff I don't know, obviously, but it's an interesting comparison to see that it's not just happening to the Marvel library; it's happening to all of it because they're interested. The TLDR is basically they're interested in telling the stories that they want to tell, not necessarily the stories that the audience or the fans want to pay for.
Yeah,
and they don't seem to care about the loss. It doesn't hurt them at all, right? They're blaming it on other things right now. So it's fascinating. It really is interesting.
And instead of seeing what made all those franchises popular, they see, well, what's wrong with it? We need to change it.
That's right. And I will say, just to give it a positive, I think it's fucking fantastic. Like, I'm not even gonna. I think it's
for us.
I think it's absolutely a godsend for us. I think this is the reason why Web3 is going to take over. This is the reason why gaming is going to be the next big, the big entertainment stuff. This is why a lot of the NFT projects, the Web3 projects, like Adult Fantasy, they're going to be here and they're going to be growing and they're going to be scaling, is because we now, just like we were looking at earlier with how you can do text to video, and in 5 years, anyone will be able to make a blockbuster video, like a blockbuster movie, like not a problem. We now have the ability to create the next Marvel, create the next properties. And it doesn't have to be that big. It doesn't have to hit Spider-Man levels to be a smashing success. And so I think that things like that are happening to Disney, while it pains me to see, because I love the company and I love Marvel and I still have friends over there, and I would hate to see anyone lose their job or get in trouble or not. I don't want to see anyone not do well. I don't want anyone unhappy. But as a creator and as someone who's creating a project and as someone who's does this all day, every day, right? Like, I could never dream of such an opportunity. Like, there is no chance. If you told me 10 years ago that a lot of these larger companies would self-destruct because of whatever multitude of reasons, I would have never believed you. I would never have believed you in a million years. So I think it's a fascinating time. It's a really amazing time to live.
I mean, a good sign of that is that movie that just came out, The Price of Freedom, or whatever it's called, Sound of Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the one about combating child sex traffickers.
Yep.
I mean, Disney actually owned that movie 5 years ago, and they never released it. And like
really,
yeah, they no, it was actually like Disney. It was sold to Disney, but they never released it because apparently they just did it for whatever reason. And the distributors bought it back from Disney and released it on their own, and it beat like Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. On opening day. I mean, obviously Dial of Destiny took it back, but it was like made for like a lot of $11 million, and they've already cleared like $40 million.
I think that's the future. I think there's smaller budgets, right? Like you're going to be able to start making a blockbuster movie for much, much less. So I think that's the future. It makes, what was it? Someone said that like for the price of Indiana Jones, which was about 400 million, give or take, you could have made something like a dozen movies with a decent sized budget and probably had one that was a home run and made all the money back. Right. And I actually like that. I like the smaller budget movies. I think it breeds creativity.
Well, that's how it used to work. I mean, studios and publishing houses and yes, comic book companies as well. They would basically just throw stuff out there. Mm-hmm. And the idea being that the hits would cover the losses, and whatever was left was your profit. So, I mean, with comic books, I mean, I remember the '90s. There were new characters being launched every week sometimes, and yes, most of them like didn't really go anywhere, but they were making so much money off of like X-Men and Superman that it didn't, that didn't matter. But the thing is, I think now the problem is that A, the costs have gotten so high, and B, there's just, I guess, culturally they're more people are more risk averse.
That's right.
I blame social media because like all this is like happening on social media. So if you fuck up, the whole world's gonna be shitting on you.
Right. MK says, like news sites moving to individual Substacks, creators can now leave big companies to be individual creatives. That's right.
Yeah.
Like it's interesting. It's happening. This is what happened in tech, because in technology, there's always there still is a problem. It's a problem for non-technical founders, right? If I want to start a company and I don't know how to code, right? And I have a brilliant idea, what I think is a brilliant idea. And I go to do a developer and I say, here's my brilliant idea. There is zero incentive for that developer to work with me, right? Because they can be like, why do I need you? I can build that myself. Because they have the ability to build whatever. They're the creative. They can build whatever they can actually make the thing and put it out. And so one of the challenges of a founder is like, that's why the developer in these startups, there's usually two founders, the tech person who's building the thing, and it's the founder who's like, I'm bringing the marketing, I'm bringing the money, I'm bringing the connections, the stuff that the developer can't do, right? This is why how these core teams are founded. And it's the same thing is now happening with this, where it's like, to MK's point, if you're a creator and you can draw, you can paint, you can tell a story, you can do a comic book, you can shoot an independent film, you can make a music, make an album. If you're willing to put a different hat on and jump into the other side and take on the business side and realize that your art is a business, then you're going to be fine. It's going to be hard. You got a lot to learn, right? You're always going to have a growth curve. But you can do it. Like people do it all the time, right? You build up an audience, you work your face off, you build up an audience, you launch, whether it's on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, an NFT platform, it doesn't matter, like whatever choice you have, and you can actually do much better than if you were providing your service to a company. This is the way it works, and I think it's a golden age for creators and a golden age for content.
And you need smaller numbers to make it a big success.
Karen says, "There you go, Zach. Todd's telling you to start up your Substack."
Well, I'm working on it. I'm kind of in the final stage right now where I'm basically like where I'm basically collating like all the images. Like basically, I'm getting a daily education in the possibilities and limitations of what Midjourney of Midjourney. Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's complicated, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need the kind of numbers when you're independent either to be successful.
Well, I mean, look, I'm a little bit nervous about it actually because, obviously I don't like failure, but I figure once I'm done, launch a Substack. I have an email list that I barely use, so I'm gonna reach out to those people. I figure if I can get 500 people that signed up at $5 a month, well, that's like what 5 times. I don't know why 500 people at 500 signups at $5 a month. 5 times 5 is like what, 2,500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that works.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, right? Like you really don't need that many. We talked about this before with like the 1,000 true fans.
Yeah.
You don't need that many people. Like, yeah, if you had 1,000 true fans paying you $25 a month, that's 25,000 a month. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
That's it. If all you got to do is find 1,000 people on a planet full of like 7 billion that are willing to pay you $25 a month for your work, right? And you're making $250,000 a year.
Well, like I said, that's why I'm going to be spending a lot of time with Facebook ads once this thing launches.
That's right. So the job becomes not just making the work, right? The job actually is finding the audience and building the audience and doing whatever it takes to build that network. That's that you guys know this. I mean, we've all heard this. It's the the network is everything, right? Like the network is the money. Right. But that's also why we're doing stuff like Web3 Comic-Con, right?
Yep.
Because Web3 Comic-Con, what we're doing, I mean, straight up, like the reason we did Web3 Comic-Con, and we'll cut it. I don't want to go too much longer past like 10:30 Eastern here, but one of the reasons we did Web3 Comic-Con is because we needed to. Where did Ramel just go?
I don't know.
Did he dip? Ramel didn't care.
You told him the time and he left.
Yes,
I did.
That's what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
I gotta be about 5 tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to dip soon too.
Hey, are you going fishing tomorrow?
I'll just
Probably, yeah.
Isn't it red snapper today and tomorrow?
It's red snapper today and tomorrow if you got a boat on the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
On the west coast of Florida, it's a little more spaced out, and red snappers are, well, they're protected. So you get 2 days a year to fish them, and which means that every Yahoo with a boat's going to be rushing out there, and there's going to be a lot of bumping and shouting and beers being thrown and probably guns going off, and it's Florida. What are you going to do?
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, that's all they were talking about on the news today was the red snapper.
Oh yeah. Well, apparently. Well, I mean, look, I'm going to be trying out a new rig, but I'm not going to bore you with the details, unless you want to hear the glorious details of what it takes to shove a leader and a hook out of a dead mullet's ass.
Do tell.
MK says very tasty.
No, yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm hoping to snag at least a tarp on.
Please describe slowly and in detail.
No. All right, fine. We'll call it a night.
All right. Besides, guys, I hate to say my cats are like glaring at me. They want me to go to bed.
No, this is good. We ended up covering a lot of stuff, and I went on a nice tangent. It's fine. A nice rant. Every nerd den needs a nice
couple of nice tangents.
I know. Now Andrew's breaking out comics. We'll look at those later.
No, I got to make a video for tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Happy Friday. The Nerd Den. We love you guys. See you guys next week. Have a good weekend, everybody. All right? Everybody have a good weekend.
Bye.
All right. MK Carrots, Galaxy Rider, everybody else who showed up. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Miles, what's
Love
up?
you.
Love you guys. Talk to you soon. See you next week. Have a great weekend. Peace.